Welcome to I Love This Thing So Fricking Much, a podcast about passion. My name is Sophie Katz, and today I'm joined by Ginger, a cookier that creates delicious pieces of art. Welcome to the show, Ginger.
Thank you, Sophie. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. So, here's how this works. Ginger will have 3 minutes to talk about something that she loves. This can be a person, place, thing, concept, activity, anything she wants. Our only requirement is that she loves it wholeheartedly and wants to tell us why. Are you ready, Ginger?
I'm ready.
Good. Got my timer here. Now, what do you love so freaking much?
I love to create edible pieces of art so freaking much. Or in other words, I tell people that I am a cookier, and I usually need to explain what that means. And it is that I create those fancy sugar cookies that are decorated with royal icing. Royal icing is unlike the typical buttercream frosting that is used on cakes, because it's made using powdered sugar and egg whites or meringue powder, and it hardens when it dries. That makes it the perfect medium to create so many textures and designs and layers on sugar cookies. There are different consistencies within the royal icing to create those different effects, such as flooding and florals and piping letters or details on the cookies. And then, of course, sugar cookies are the perfect canvas to create these designs on. And it's so fun to especially utilize 3D printers to be able to create cookie cutters in any shape that you can imagine. I enjoy the challenge to design cookies that fit someone's event theme or vision, and each order that I do is unique and custom for their event. And I have done everything from birthdays and baby showers to teacher appreciation and all kinds of holidays. And I even once created a set for someone to apologize to their neighbor for burning down their tree with fireworks. And I love to see the reaction when a customer picks up their order. While I look at a set and I may only see the flaws or what went wrong with the design, when I see their look of astonishment and delight, it just makes it all worth it. And many times I hear, "It's just too pretty to eat." But that's exactly what I want them to do with it, though. And since I started decorating cookies a few years ago, I learned that there is a whole community of cookiers all over the world. And there's an annual event called CookieCon, where cookiers get together and learn about the latest techniques and can find the newest products for creating cookies. I attended my first CookieCon in Reno, and it was there that I connected with some of my closest friends to this day. For me, cookie decorating fulfills so many things that I have always loved, like baking and crafting and just creating beautiful things with my hands. And I've been able to apply skills that I already knew and crafting tools that I already owned to cookie decorating.
Go ahead and finish your thought.
And while it's kind of strange to create an art form that's so fleeting, I think it takes a special kind of crazy to spend so much time creating a masterpiece that is just going to be eaten. And if you've ever seen one of the cookie videos online, it's typically a time lapse of a process that takes anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes, and they trim it down to under a minute. And I only wish that I could decorate that fast. But I think there's something beautiful that we can enjoy this art using so many of our senses, because not only are they pretty to look at, but they smell good, they're fascinating to touch and the textures, and of course, they are delicious to eat.
That's wonderful. Thank you for telling us about sugar cookie decorating today.
Thank you.
So how did you first get into creating edible pieces of art?
Oh my goodness. So since I was a little girl, I have loved baking and crafting. And my mom taught me simple cake decorating skills. And I made my first cake for my little brother when I was only 15 years old for his birthday. And I continued to take cake decorating classes and fine-tune those skills. And as I got kids, I would make all of their birthday cakes. I made wedding cakes for friends. Fast forward to Christmas of 2018. And my family, kind of as a joke, gave me an airbrush machine. I hadn't decorated cakes for quite a while, so I had to figure out a way to use this new gift. And I remember seeing some cookie decorating videos and classes online, and so I decided to try that out. I ordered some cookie cutters. I started researching and practicing recipes for cookie dough and royal icing, and I just started practicing and ordering more cutters and practicing some more. And my friends and family were so happy happy because they received all of my experiments during this time. And I learned a few things during this whole process of experimenting. I learned that people loved them.
Hmm.
I learned that I loved the process of creating them and that the possibilities are absolutely endless of what you can design on a cookie. And I knew I had to keep making them. That's when I found out about CookieCon. And it was after attending CookieCon that I decided to become a licensed cottage baker, and Ginger D Sweets was born.
You mentioned before that sugar cookies are the perfect canvas for this kind of art. Why is that?
Well, sugar cookies, I love that you can either take a specific shape, such as a booty or a boot, and create that image on the shape of cookie, or you can take a simple rectangle and create a boot image on a rectangle. So really, just as a canvas is a square canvas generally, you can create any kind of art on that. But a cookie takes it beyond that, where you can have a specific shape of cookie and design anything. And with 3D printing, as I mentioned, you can take any image and create a cutter and design a cookie around that image.
Yeah, you mentioned that you've had to create some interesting themes for different events, from people's parties to apologies. What are some of your favorite shapes of cookies that you've made over the years?
One of my favorites actually is one of the first designs I created, and it was gumbo.
Oh.
I was a little intimidated to do it because it required some little painting and kind of pushed my skills a little bit. But I really enjoyed creating that. And it was when you first flood it and it doesn't look like anything, but then when you add those fine details, it just brings the cookies to life. I mean, it's just the layers and the details that are on the cookie that just truly are amazing to me. I recently created a set for a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory party, and I created a sugar cookie that looks like a candy bar, and the wrapper looks like it is being peeled back. And so you can see the silver texture and the wrapper being peeled back, but it's all cookie and it's all royal icing. And it's just using different techniques to be able to create that. And so it's really fun to decide the best way to do it. And there's always an order of operations when doing a cookie that you have to kind of figure out.
Talk to me a little more about the process. Do you generally follow a guide that someone else has set out? Are you starting from complete scratch and doing your own designs? What's your process like?
Yeah, actually, it's a little bit of both. I will look to other cookiers and get some design inspiration using things that they have done. But I also like to incorporate my own sense of style to my orders and kind of make each unique. Usually, customers will send me an inspiration image that they found online. And then I tell them, be sure and send me your invitation so that I can create something that matches their unique party. And I put my own twist on it and flair because, I have a different style than other cookiers. It's kind of interesting. You can start to see the style of various cookiers come out with their designs. It's kind of fun to see. Some are more simplistic, some are more detailed, but each one is unique. No two are alike ever. Even if they give you a design I want just this exact cookie, it's never going to be exact because it's so unique and custom for each person and each order.
I think that contributes a bit to when you talked about the fleeting nature of this kind of art, and that on the one hand, this is quite literally a piece of art that is not going to last. It is meant to be eaten, or else it will go stale and have to be thrown away anyway, God forbid. But also, it's going to be different every single time, depending on who's doing it, depending on what materials they have available. There are so many factors that make every piece of edible art completely unique.
Right. And even within one set, I may be creating 6 of the identical cookie, but each one of them is going to be different because, there's always user error. Literally, each cookie is unique, not just the design, but each cookie. I have come to find that I really enjoy teaching the process. It's one thing to create something for others to enjoy, but it's quite another thing to show someone step by step and empower them to create the image for themselves. I've been able to create classes and teach others this process, from simple 2 cookie designs to even more. And it's been really fun. I love connecting with people. I was even able at one time a few years ago teach other cookiers at CookieCon in Orlando, and I was able to teach them different methods to use for using stencils on cookies. And so it's been really fun in that way too, to connect with people through teaching, not just to create cookies for their event, but also through teaching. It's just multifaceted in that way.
I am absolutely delighted to know that CookieCon exists and that you've been there. Just this whole show is about the things we love so much and are passionate about. And a convention is a place that you go to and you know that everyone in that building is just as passionate about the thing as you are. And that's just beautiful.
Yes, it really is. I'm actually going to be attending CookieCon in just a couple weeks. This year it's in Austin, and I'm excited. I didn't go last year with time constraints, but I'm excited to go again and just reconnect, because everyone is so friendly in this community. And who knew, that there was such a cookie community. And like I say, it wasn't until I really started getting into it that I found out that there was so many people passionate about cookie decorating like I am.
Is there anything that you don't like about sugar cookie decorating? And if so, how do you handle that?
So one of the things, and almost any cookier will tell you this as well, but it's preparing to decorate. It's the whole process of making the icing and coloring it and creating the different consistencies of icing. You have to have different thicknesses for the different techniques. At times it can take hours just to create the colors and the consistencies that you need to start decorating a cookie. And I'm just like anxious. I just want to get to the decorating, and I don't want to take the time to prepare everything, but I know it's part of the process, and so I have to do it. But I just want to get to the decorating and get to the fun part quicker.
Just like how a painter has to prepare the paints and the sculptor has to prepare the clay, the cookier has to prepare the frosting.
Exactly. Surprisingly, it takes a long time to decorate cookies. It's not just a quick throw some icing on and you're done. With all the different layers, each layer has to take time to dry in between, and then you have to add textures. And so it's a multiple day process. By the time you bake and decorate, it dries, and then you have to package them. So it takes a long time. It's a big commitment to be able to do it as well.
And then the cookie is gone in a few seconds.
I know. That's the sad thing. It's probably a good thing I'm not at the events and watching people eat them, because sometimes it does make me sad. Like, wait, I spent so much time on that, but I'm happy they're enjoying.
Absolutely. There's mixed feelings. It's bittersweet. Yes, the art is gone, but the memory will last forever.
Exactly. I definitely take pictures of everything I create. I even have some of the very first cookies that I started practicing with years ago, because it brings back the memories of, hey, this is where I started and I've come so far. And there's even so much more to learn. I don't think I can ever stop learning this craft.
Ginger, thank you so much for telling us about something you love today.
Thank you. It was so wonderful to be here.
And thank you, our listeners, for tuning in today. If you would like to learn more about creating edible art or our guest Ginger, you can find her social media information in the episode description. And if you have something you love so freaking much you want to tell me all about it, consider this your invitation to join the show. I Love This Thing So Freaking Much is a production of Through the Window Media. This episode was directed and edited by Sophie A. Katz. You can find us at Through the Window on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Tumblr. That is THROU the Window at all those social media sites. Be good to yourself, be kind to each other, and you'll hear from us again soon.